Hey everyone, and welcome back for round 4 of my Road to Pro series. We are here again in the M2, but at Circuito de Navarra today for a race that it involved a couple pretty poor racing mistakes. But enough of that. If you do go on to enjoy the video, make sure you go down below, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and here is the starting grid. We are in the top split race with a strength of field of 2,563, so pretty darn high, and we have qualified 7th, which isn't bad considering everyone above me is pretty highly rated. Now I don't have too bad of pace, but can I gain any positions from there? I guess we'll find out as we go to the race start. The lights are up and we are getting ready to get underway. The lights are green in the car immediately behind us has stalled. He has not got off the line properly, and we're going to straight away tuck to the inside, and we have maintained P7 off the start there. But this is where it gets interesting. A kinking right-hander into a slow second right-hander, and then an even slower third right-hander. So this is where it gets a little bit sketchy on the first lap with lots of dive bombs heading into this corner. As you can see, we keep it nice and tight to the apex, and now I'm looking to my left. We've got a car on our outside, and he's going to swoop across us, so we're going to have to give him the space and the room and to sit behind him. So we are still P7, but Felipe behind us is quick. He's going to look for the move down the inside, and we run it very, very wide, trying to afford him the space. We don't want to cause any accidents on the opening lap, and you can see even through this next section, we give him the space, but inevitably with the inside line for the second section of that corner, we manage to maintain P7, but it gives us a light tap as he misses his braking point, not considering the concertina that takes place when hitting into a corner in a full train of cars like that. But currently we are still sitting P7, gaining 6 I rating, so it's not too shabby at all. So this is pretty much the minimum place we want to finish. But can we gain any more positions, as that would be perfect, as the car's rear end is super slippery through that corner, sliding out on full throttle around there, and you have to be incredibly careful as we now head through the left-hander once more, and we head onto lap 2, and now we are heading into the hairpin at the end of the back straight, and we run it a little bit deep, which is going to allow Felipe behind us to get right on our tail as we head through this right-hander, and again you can see the tail is sliding out a little bit, and he almost goes for a move which forces us wide. So now we are side by side heading into this left-hander. I'm going to have to give him the room, which means we are still side by side, but we are slow as he's managed to pull ahead slightly, but we're still somewhat side by side, so we're going to go for the move. We're going to send it down the inside, but because of the amount of space I give him, keeping it nice and clean, he manages to get the better run on exit and cut across my nose and retake the racing line. So we have lost one position there, down to P8, but our race with Felipe is not over yet, and nor is it with Sam Benson behind. So let's see what we can do from this position now. Losing 9 I rating for P8, we need that position back, but as we head down the straight, you can see Sam behind is gaining with the slipstream. We are not gaining too much on Felipe in front as we head into the first couple corners here. It's very, very sketchy, but we get it pretty clean the first time round, which it doesn't happen too often. We even managed to reel Felipe in a little bit there, but now we've got to stick behind him a little while longer as we head in, or about to head into the sweeper, which there is no room for an overtake here unless you are directly side by side. It is just asking for trouble as he is going to go into the corner. He runs it a bit wide. We managed to keep it nice and clean to the apex, so we gain a little bit of time on him there, and maybe this is going to give us an opportunity down the back straight if we can just get a clean run through here as we almost go into his rear end a little bit. A 0x contact there, so now we've got to stick behind him, but Sam Benson is close on our rear as well, so we're going to have to watch out for him. Are we going to go defensive? We are not, but we're going to brake, but we miss our braking point slightly, and we give Felipe a little tap and he's round. He is round, and we have just cleaned him up, or not cleaned him up, but we've just sent him round. I'm apologizing profusely there as I did not mean to do it. We were just too focused on Sam behind, and we missed our braking point ever so slightly, which caused such a big consequence with Felipe half spinning there, but luckily he is not out of the race just yet. But now here is a replay then of what actually happened. You can see Sam almost tricks me there, which makes me go a bit late on the brakes, and I just make slight contact with Felipe.
Sorry.
And he loses the 2 places there, but he manages to gain 1 back through this next corner. But now let's take another look at that from my gyro on board. You can see heading into the, we almost make a little movement just to defend Sam a little bit, but it's not much, and we just miss our braking point, losing a touch of focus. And here's one last look at it, just to show how slight the contact was. Very, very minimal light contact, but we are lucky, or Felipe is lucky, it did not fully spin him around. But now we are on lap 4, and Sam is still behind us. Felipe shortly behind him. And we are heading on to the back straight. But if you look up ahead, Tyrone, Nathan, and Billy are going at it down the straight. And as they get towards the end of the corner, one of them's wide, and he's spun. One of them's wide, half on the grass, half spinning, and he's wide on the exit. And that is something we're going to have to take a look at on the replay, because I'm not sure what happened. It was too far ahead, but all I could tell was one car getting bumped onto the grass and half spinning around. Is that going to be a controversial accident between them? Because they were definitely hopping on the radios, and one of them was complaining to the other. But we'll have to take a look back at that to see what it was and what actually took place there, because it was much, much too hard to tell from my position. But now here is a replay then. You can see them heading around that corner onto the back straight, and they almost bump a little bit together and almost lock onto each other here. Look at them, pretty much locking on. One must be steering into the other, and there's just light contact, and Billy Ball just makes a slight movement in the braking zone, tapping Nathan Polonsky's rear and sending him round. But let's see if we can get a better look at that then. And here it is from the car behind. I forgot his name, but from his perspective, you can see they're almost locked together, tire to tire up in front. There's a little bit of shifting, and Billy Ball just makes a little bit of a movement in the braking, which sends Nathan around, as I said in the last one. But there's not much else there. I think it's just a bit of a racing incident there. But now we head on to lap 7. We're still sitting in P7 with Nathan Polonsky just in front of us, not too far away. And we have okay pace now. It's not the greatest, but it's definitely all right. And Felipe is just behind us, and he makes a move, and he spun us around. He's half spun us, but managed to keep us going straight. And I have to leave Sam Benson the room. We cannot cut across his nose, and that has just turned the race completely upside down, as now we are sitting in P8, losing iRating. But not only are we losing, we are fighting to keep Felipe behind. As you can see, we are going an ultra defensive down the straight. There's no hope of catching Sam up now, but if we can just keep Felipe behind, as we are trying to do now. He looks for the switchback, he looks for the better exit, as I'm just defending, wanting to keep him behind, not wanting to lose any more positions than I already have, just from that little half spin there. And you can see we are just going ultra defensive mode, sticking to the inside line, making sure there is no window or door whatsoever to make a move. And he makes light contact with our rear, and he has almost had a half spin there, which has dropped him maybe a bit too far behind to get the position. But the final corner is definitely one, it's sketchy to overtake, but definitely possible because of the wide line you have to take. It is open to many, many dive bombs. We head into the corner, and I think he's going for it, but he's not. He just misses his braking point and charges me straight into the rear of the car. But luckily, neither of us were spun out, and I did not gain any more 4x incidents for that. So we managed to cross the line in what turns out to be P7, meaning I did gain 6 iRating, or around about there, and I only had 5 incident points. But before we go to the results, let's take one last look at that accident. You can see I just went a little bit deep into the corner, and he just saw the door open up on the final lap. So of course he's going to go for the move. I don't blame him, I would have too. It just a bit of a race, like it's just a bit of a racing incident, like a driver's mentality on the final lap to gain that position, because he was losing quite a bit of iRating. You just want to go for that move just to get that position, but it was, in my opinion, maybe a little bit too much of a lunge. But luckily, none of us were spun out, none of us crashed. All we did was lose a position to Sam, who did a bit of a Hamilton there and sweep through 2 cars who were fighting very hard with each other. And he'll be loving it. He'll be loving it for sure as we head through the next corners, and we managed to keep it nice and clean after that. But wow, what a race that was, and how it was going. We'll take a look at this last lap then, or this last corner, sorry, to see what actually happened. He did say afterwards in chat that he just missed his braking point, and he did apologize, so I thanked him for that. But you can see he almost looks like he's going for a move there, but he just misses his braking point, taps my rear end, but luckily none of us were taken out. But now here are the results from round 4 at Navarra in the M2s. As you can see, I finished P7 in the end, luckily, which gave me 2 championship points, and we gained 5 I rating in the end, bringing us back up to 2,177. But for our 5 incidents, we did lose 0.11 safety rating, which is massive, but luckily we are still above 3. And just one more thing I'd like to know is I have changed the season points to out of 30. I thought 20 was a bit too few, and I'd like to extend each season a little bit longer. So we are now 17 out of 30 championship points till our promotion. But now I hope you guys have enjoyed, and if you did, make sure you go down below, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to join the Discord linked in the description. But now, catch you guys next time for round 5 of this Road to Pro series.